YouTube, welcome to a new video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys a VST instrument called Urbania VST. Now, this is an instrument VST created by one of my friends at Producer Sources. I do a lot of instrument VST testing for them, so I think over the past few years, I couldn't tell you how many VSTs I've tested. The reason I do testing on a lot of new products that come out is because I use the Surface Pro. Now, I use a tablet that hasn't even got a fan. It doesn't have an internal fan, so it's got no internal cooling apart from, like thermal cooling. It uses a very basic processor. It's a very simple computer. Now, I have changed mine recently. I did replace it with one just with a slightly better battery, so I can take it off when I'm working with people's cars. So when I'm sat in a car, I don't want to always have to use a cable to the car plus a cable for power. Anyway, the Surface Pro is a very basic computer. Also, when you open VSTs, sometimes the picture doesn't work. Like when it opens, the graphics don't look good because it's virtual windows. So it's such a simple setup and it's such a basic computer that I think when these guys make new VSTs, it makes sense to get someone like me to use my computer and have a real world review, so they get a real test. Speaking of Urbania VST, I previously made a video promoting this VST, but it's on my old YouTube channel which got deleted, blah blah blah. Now, in this video, there's a chance that I am only going to go through the features of this VST instrument. I might not do a cook-up. I'm kind of hungry at the minute. All my videos are off the fly, so I want to make this video pretty quick, but I do want to show you guys all of the features. It's really important that I show you. Now, when I did a review before, it cost $49, so it was $49.99. It's now reduced to $29.99, which I said to him recently, that's too cheap. For what you get is too cheap. Now, this guy created Hensive VST, an incredible VST. One of the hardest VSTs, one of the hardest underground VSTs, I'd say, for making trap, hip hop, R&B, pop, blah blah blah. It's got all the sounds on it. He also created, he's made so many. He made Tune Vault VST, he made a Hensive 2, he's made all these different VSTs, he's made Keytron VST. Urbania, in my opinion, is all of these old VSTs all put together with new sounds. Old drums are added, new drums are added, there's expansions in it as well. Urbania VST is like taking Hensive, which was my favourite instrument VST, and just throwing it into the future. Yeah, I don't want to talk too much. I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see my screen, and we're going to start going through some of the features on the website so you get to see the Producer Sources website. After that, I'll open it up on my computer and we'll go through some of the features there. Right, this is the Producer Sources website. So this is the main page. Now, Producer Sources are the main go-to for your instrument VSTs, your music samples, your drum kits, whatever you want. These guys are well known for all of this stuff. I'm just going to move over here and we'll go down to their best sellers. So you can see Verbgate, Driller, Log Drum, Urbania, which we're going to be testing, FL Studio, Ultimate Mixing Presets, Lowrider, Hip Hop Blueprints, Trapware, TrapLab VST, incredible VST. TrapLab VST costs like $5, but I've made so much music with that, and the amount of streams I've got just from using TrapLab VST is insane. We'll start to scroll down the page, having to use my mouse now, so you might hear a few clicks. Also, the ISO keeps changing, it's on auto, but it's the only way I can fill this page. What was I going to say? Yeah, so featured products, sample packs, plugins. People get their plugins on here. We can see Urbania is here, and it is $29, $29.99. Apologies for this camera. There isn't, I'm using my phone for all these videos. But anyway, that's the website. I'm gonna close this, and now we can see Urbania. So here's Urbania VST. When you land on this page, I just want to get this up here. I will put this in the description, but I'll just zoom in here so you guys can see it. producersources.com/product/Urbania. Now, where are we? you get to hear some of the sounds here, so you can click here and listen to a demonstration of the sounds, which we will do shortly. I'm not going to do that straight away. Unleash the power of Select Mastery. This really is a hard hitting VST. I really need to push onto people how deep this VST is. Like, there's so many features on it. The sounds are insane, which I will go through with you guys. There's the demo. I'm going to link a link to the demo. So the demo is also on YouTube, so I'm going to put that in the description as well. You can see here, Advanced Modulation Suite. You got all this stuff that we're going to go through. All this stuff here we're going to go through. And then yeah, you get the 4 free expansions, which are already installed on my, look, 65 808s. 65 808s. I've got 2 808s installed on my computer. I'm making all these instrumentals. I've got 65 808s, 72 bass presets. I did check some of them out earlier. They sound insane. The synth presets are pretty nice. And then look, Synth Haven. We've got an additional 43 presets. What does this work with? What does it work with? So I'm just going to go to operating system here. So it works with Mac OS 10, 12 and up, but that also includes native M1, M2, M3, whatnot. I did have a MacBook Pro M1 in the past, and I did some testing for him on that, and then Windows 7 and up. So all PCs will work with this, and all Macs will work with this. You get the VST2, VST3, and the AU for Mac. You also get the VST for Mac as well. But yeah, I'm going to get the door open, and then we'll start going through the features. Right, to keep this simple, I'm just calling it Urbania, and the template is Producer Sesh. Now, I used to record vocals on here. I used to use this computer, so I had an artist template and a producer template. I'm going to delete the artist template because I don't use it. I now record vocals over here using this phone. So the phone that I'm using, I use FL Studio Mobile. That's embarrassing, but whatever, it's just air freshener. Yeah, I use FL Studio Mobile. I have a hub underneath the desk. The microphone comes through, so the cable comes to here. See, this is why I do the ISO thing when I'm filming myself, because the camera keeps trying to stabilize itself. It's really annoying. Anyway, let me click on Create Project. Once that opens up, we'll start going through the features. Okay, this is Urbania. So this is what the instrument looks like. This is the main page. I've got my mouse here. Hopefully you can see my mouse at the top of the screen. I'm going to move over to the left and show you the first section. So the first section that I'm scrolling around is the delay section. So I can add delay to my sound. So whatever I've played, I can add delay to it. This is going to save a lot of time. Now, I used to use a third-party delay plugin. I no longer need that. So with Urbania seems so good. I think I'm going to delete Zenology Pro for a while and just work with this VST for the next few productions, so for the next few instrumentals, which means I'll probably use it for the next good few months. I'm going to make sure I've got no other instrumental VST installed, and I'll only work with this and halftime. But yeah, back to this. So delay, I have my mix control, which I need. I have my time control, which I need. I've got left and right, so I can do the ping pong effect if needed. The feed I can also adjust. So that's the delay covered. That must just, yeah, so that toggles on and off by clicking the button at the top. So with each click, green for on, red for off. Further down, we've got reverb. Now reverb, I always add to my, well, yeah, in most cases I add reverb to my sounds. There was a time when I wasn't, and somebody pointed it out on the Traction Waveform forum. We've got a little group on Facebook, and somebody mentioned, he's like, bro, you need to add reverb. So I started adding reverb to my sounds. So here we can control that here, size, the stereo size of it, the dampness, the wetness. Going down, we've got chorus. Chorus is a lovely effect. I love adding chorus to guitars, like metal guitars, like heavy metal guitars, if I make those type of trap beats. And one thing that got me is the arpeggiator. He's added an arpeggiator to this. Like, this is insane. So I can press one key and it's gonna play a sequence, like a sound. It's gonna make that sound insane. You can adjust how the arpeggiator works. So you've got the step control, speed control, octave control, shuffle control. and I have 4 areas where I can play about here. See, look, I can move stuff up and down and play. This is like having gross beat in FL Studio. That's how what this is like. I'm shaping the sound, similar to some of the stuff that cable guys sell. So I've also got an arpeggiator to play with, which to me is insane. Going over to the top right, we've got gain, which is your instrument gain. We've got pan, which is your global pan, so that's the ultimate left or right, and also stereo width, which is nuts. Like, we've not had this. So there's that free plugin called Wider. Well, I no longer need that because he's added width control inside this instrument VST. Urbanizer shapes the sound and gives it a bit more color. There's a limiter you can play with in here, and as we go down here, phaser. Now I no longer need a third-party phaser. I can add phaser effects to all of the sounds. Distortion, which I love. Oh wait, with all the 808s he's got, I can now distort my 808s. I can do it all inside this VST. Now, yes, I know I could have done that with Zenology, but I've never really played 808s in Zenology. There aren't really bass sounds in there that I've used or found or liked so far. Compressor, nice. So I can now control the compression of the sound. And at the bottom, we've got equalizer. So I control the high frequency, the low frequency, and I think I can play with it. Yeah, I can also choose, wow. Yeah, this is nuts. That's insane. That's insane. Look, and I can just keep adding bands. So every time I click it, 8 band, 9 band. So now I've got a 10 band. Look, now I've got a 10 band EQ for no reason. Scrolling further down, on the bottom right, we've got glide. Here we have the keys, as you can see. They highlight as I scroll over it. And on the left, we've even got a mod wheel. So I could potentially use my finger. This is why I have touchscreen. Well, theoretically, yeah, it's not working on this VST, but sorry, I think I got too close to the mic there. Yeah, generally I can control and play stuff, so this is why I love the Surface Pro. As I'm playing stuff, I can get my thumb on there and start and play around with the effects as I'm recording, so that it plays back with that recorded. I can do the same with the equalizer. I can do the same with the with all of the sounds on there. Where are we? So to click on the sound, 808. Click on this one, now I've got my 808 sound. I will play it, hopefully it's not too loud. Okay, that's not too loud, so I'll turn it up a bit. Now, I'm not sure how that came across. That may have been too quiet, but there's not much I can do there. I will play some of the sounds, but I'll do that as a separate clip. So once I finish talking, I'll play through some of the sounds so you guys can hear them. For me to go to the AHDSR LFO section, when I click it, you're going to see a limitation of the Surface Pro. So I click it, look, now the display goes crazy. So I have to close it and reopen it, and now I'm on the AHDSR page. I'm not even sure what H means, to be honest, but attack, whatever H is, delay, sustain, reverb. I have full control, and I've got my LFO here, which is my favorite part, so this is what I'll play with as I'm recording a sound. To draw the listener in to what I'm doing. Settings page, let me close this and reopen it. Settings, zoom factor, 100%. Streaming mode, fast to the SSD, and I can also change it to slow if I was using an HDD, hard disk drive. Maximum voices, 128. Oh, I can go up to 256. Wow, so I can change the overall polyphony. Change it to 32, 64, 128 or 256. That's crazy. You can control the polyphony. And I honestly haven't seen that before. So where I'm talking about this VST, I have had it in the past. I did, as I said, I did make a video in the past, but I've never really gone through it like this. I think when I made the video before, I just did a straight cook up. This time I want to show you guys why I like this instrument VST. But yeah, Urbania will now be what I use. I'm gonna hit pause, and then I'm gonna play through some of the what have I just done? Yeah, I'm gonna hit pause, and then I'm gonna play through some of the sounds on here. So the music that's playing now will stop, and then we can yeah, then you guys can hear some of the sounds on this thing. I have to be honest, there are so many sounds in this instrument VST. I don't even know what else to show you guys. Like, it's so complex. There's so much that I could get into. That if I start playing with the LFO, if I start hitting the urbanizer button, which I've tested quickly, if I hit the limiter button, if I start playing with the phaser and all this, most people who produce music know what these effects are and know what they're like. So I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna play with every single one because this video is gonna drag on too long. What I'm going to do is do a real quick cook up. So it's not gonna be my best work. I'm not gonna put all my effort into it. As I said, I am hungry. I wanna go and do some food. But yeah, let's do a quick cook up. Let's make some music with the VST just so you guys can see so you can hear what it sounds like. Wow. Yeah, and then you can make your decision from there. I think it's a banging VST. I think it's got really good sounds in it. I think it can be used today in production. And there are so many sounds that if you buy this VST, you probably won't need another VST. And I mean ever. Really, once you buy one of this guy's VSTs, there's so many sounds in it. They're so well sampled, they're over sampled, they're re-recorded. He runs stuff through analog gear. I know what he's using. I even know I know what he's using because they're based out in Dubai. And I lived in Dubai for 4 months last year, so I was in contact with them more out there as well. Obviously I'm now back in the UK, but we still keep in contact. I'm still testing VSTs, as I said. But yeah, regarding this VST plugin, I think that if you're getting into music production, or if you're a seasoned producer and you just want to check out some new sounds, weird sounds, strange sounds, plus all your classic sounds, give Urbania a go. It's $29.99, it's $30, like it doesn't cost that much. It's cheaper than your leading instrument VSTs out there, but it seems to have more features. It's got a lot more features. Not only has it got all the sounds, it's got an arpeggiator. It's just got everything. It's all the plugins, it's all the effects. But yeah, let's do a quick cook up and see how it turns out. Right, I have no idea what key this instrumental is. All I know is I started on the letter J. So I use the internal keyboard when I make music. I don't care what key my songs are in. I just want to make it and put it out. Because of this, when I'm playing in the 808, I can't play in the full 808 with you guys watching on the camera. So I'm just going to play it in. I'll play it in myself. I have to play it in like 2 or 3 stages because I need to go up and down the octave a few times. And then I'll play the 808 pattern at the end, so then you guys can see I've made the whole tune, I've done everything, put it all together, and then I'll play part of it through at the end. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Urbania is a sick instrumental VST. It's so good that I may have said it before, but I'm now going to delete Zenology Pro. I don't need it. I'm only going to work with this for a while because, yeah, man, the sounds are good, the sounds are hard. I really like what I'm hearing. And yeah, as I said, catch you guys in the next video. I will play through the 808 pattern at the end, so you'll get to see the 808 on screen. After that, it will chop straight into the outro video, which will be this instrumental playing. But yeah, again, thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. I have to stop for a quick interlude. I've played in the 808. Now the 808 is from my drum kit. I have to be honest, I didn't use an 808 from Urbania, but I will do in the next few instrumentals I make. I just want to say I've played in the 808. Bro, this instrument VST is sick. This is sick. I know I probably said it before. This VST is so hard. I'm now gonna delete Zenology Pro. I can't move too much because the camera flickering is too annoying. But yeah, this sounds so good. I'm now gonna delete Zenology Pro. I'm only gonna work with Urbania VST for the foreseeable. This is ridiculous. The sounds I've played in, I haven't edited, I haven't pressed any of the effects. This is how I produce generally. I'm pretty lazy with it. I'll get a VST and just play the sounds that are in there. I haven't really got time. I am going to dig deeper into the arpeggiator. I do want to play it like the wider, oh no, I did use the wider effect on one of these sounds. So I definitely used wider. And the limiter was active in one of the sounds I used already. I think it was the bass sound. Either way, this VST is hard. I'm now going to play you through the 808 pattern with the drums so you can hear the drums in 808. I'm going to quickly do the mixing with my IEMs, which are somewhere, I've got them, they'll be behind me somewhere. I always mix using the KZ-ZS10 Pro X. I've already told you guys about that, but just for anyone who's new to the channel, you now know I use KZ-ZS10 Pro X for mixing the IEMs. They have 5 drivers per side, and I also use the KZ cable connection, so it's a KZ USB-C cable that I connect straight to the computer for mixing. But yeah, anyway, I'm just waffling. I'm gonna play this through and then yeah, catch you guys in the next one for the last time.